The trade war between the United States and China has dominated global economic headlines for years. But who, if anyone, is truly winning this high-stakes contest? We're diving deep into the origins, impacts, and potential outcomes of the ongoing trade conflict between the world's two largest economies. The conflict escalated significantly in 2018, with rounds of tariffs imposed by the U.S., citing unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft by China. The primary weapons in this war are tariffs, taxes on imported goods, and various sanctions aimed at key Chinese sectors, particularly technology. Let's first look at the economic effects on the United States, which initiated many of these trade measures. Higher tariffs on Chinese imports often translate to higher costs for American consumers and businesses who rely on these goods, leading to inflation for affected products. U.S. manufacturers faced higher input costs, while the agricultural sector was hit by retaliatory Chinese tariffs, requiring significant government support to mitigate losses. Now, let's turn our attention to China and how its economy has weathered the U.S. trade offensive. China's exports were certainly affected by U.S. tariffs, contributing to a slowdown in their overall GDP growth, though the full extent is debated due to other economic factors. A major long-term consequence for China is the acceleration of supply chain diversification, as companies seek to reduce reliance on Chinese manufacturing to avoid tariffs. The trade war didn't just affect the U.S. and China, it sent ripples across the entire global trade landscape. Countries like Vietnam, Mexico, India, and others have emerged as alternative manufacturing destinations, benefiting from companies relocating production out of China. Beyond traditional trade, the conflict has deepened into a geopolitical and technological battle, especially concerning critical technologies like semiconductors and AI. So after years of conflict, what's the current status, and who can claim victory, if anyone? In the short term, both sides have incurred significant costs, though some sectors in alternative countries and specific U.S. domestic industries have seen gains. Most economists agree that in a trade war, there are generally no clear winners, only mutual costs. The prolonged uncertainty is damaging to global stability. The U.S.-China trade conflict is less about tariffs today and more about a strategic decoupling and geopolitical rivalry shaping the future global economic order. Future relations will likely be defined by limited cooperation in some areas, while strategic competition in technology and trade remains intense. The trade war has reshaped global supply chains, accelerated technological competition, and highlighted the mutual costs of economic conflict between superpowers.